Okay, next up is question 8. It says sketch each polar region in the xy plane. In part A, it says that r is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 3. And so this is describing the set of all points in the xy plane whose radial distance from the origin, okay, that's r, it can be anything from 0 up to 3. Okay, so that's describing a disk, namely the disk of radius 3 centered at the origin. All right, then looking at B, you have that same condition on r, but now theta varies from 0 up to pi over 2. Okay, so that's going to give us this quarter disk of radius 3. So when theta is 0, we're along the positive x-axis here. Then we sweep through the first quadrant, and we end here along the positive y-axis when theta is pi over 2. Okay, then moving on to C, r varies from 1 up to 3, and theta varies from 2 pi over 3 up to 7 pi over 6. So I'll start by just sketching the bounds on theta here, as you see. And then since r varies from 1 to 3, okay, that's going to give us the set of all points that lie on and between these circles of radius 1 and 3 within this window as theta varies from 2 pi over 3 up to 7 pi over 6. Okay, so this is sometimes referred to as a polar rectangle, right? It looks like the region swept out by a windshield wiper. All right, and then lastly, D, r is strictly greater than 2 secant theta, and here theta is strictly greater than negative pi over 2 and strictly less than pi over 2. Well, given that secant theta is a little more complicated here, I'm going to rewrite this as follows. So r is strictly greater than 2 over cosine theta, right? And that follows just given the fact that secant theta is the reciprocal of cosine. Okay, now noting that cosine theta is strictly greater than 0 on this interval from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, then implies that if I multiply both sides of this inequality by cosine theta, I do not have to change the inequality sign, right? Because I'm multiplying both sides by a positive number. So now I'm led to this condition that r cosine theta is strictly greater than 2, and aha, r cosine theta is x. So now we're looking at the condition that x is strictly greater than 2. And so this polar region is this half plane that consists of all points to the right of this vertical line, x equals 2. All right, well, that's going to do it. Thanks so much.